Hi. Welcome to our channel. For today's video, we will recap a sci-fi thriller film called 400 Days. The story revolves around a group of scientists who wanted to know about the long-term effects of deep space exploration. So, they put 4 men in a simulation to the test. Have you seen this movie yet? If not, sit back, relax, and enjoy. The movie begins as Theo, an astronaut, wakes up in his prison cell. He was charged with public misconduct and intoxication. Theo is quickly saved by his superior Walter, who notes that Theo would have been fired if there had been time to recruit a replacement. After that, Theo is brought to a press conference alongside his colleagues astronauts Cole, Bug, and Emily, the ex-girlfriend of Theo. Walter informs the reporters that the purpose of the experiment is to examine the psychological consequences of extended space travel and ascertain the astronauts' responses to unanticipated difficulties. The astronauts will be isolated and may experience a change in their sense of reality during their 400-day stay in an underground bunker designed to mimic a spaceship's living condition. Additionally, Cole has been tasked with producing weekly videos to inform the public. Walter whispers to Emily to remind her of their agreement as the group smiles for cameras. After that, Walter tells the astronauts to continue on their mission and threatens to ruin their careers if any of them leave before their scheduled time. The astronauts suit up right away because they will even be simulating the launch after a hatch on the ground is unlocked. The computer promptly alerts them to the fact that the cargo is still tethered to the spacecraft as they begin the countdown, and the chamber begins to shake and make noises as though they were actually departing. Theo requests permission to change the course of the spacecraft because if they don't drop it, it will break apart. Walter congratulates them on completing the first test and lets them know that gifts are waiting for them. The group can now explore the bunker and locate the rooms where the gifts are lying on the beds. Emily receives origami material, Bug receives a notebook, Cole receives lewd magazines, and Theo receives 3 decks of cards. Following his visit to the infirmary, where Emily does a normal mental health examination, Theo confesses to being depressed by her breakup with him following his proposal. Emily concludes the interview by simply saying that it's complicated. Later, during dinner, Emily declares that vaccinations are essential for everyone. Cole tries to object, but Emily tells him that they were informed about this during training and that due to their tight quarters, they are more vulnerable to viruses. Cole makes fun of the fact that they drink recycled urine in a few videos he records for the public after everyone has received their shots. Days begin to go by without any difficulty. To keep themselves occupied, the team members Cole exercises, Bug sketches on the wall, and Emily folds origami. Cole always makes sure to post anything intriguing that he records online. Cole is upset that he isn't as quick as the others when Emily gives them a small game on day 26 to make sure their minds are still sharp and engaged. As soon as they hear an explosion outside, the bunker begins to tremble. Bug clarifies that they shouldn't be close to any significant asteroid belts, while Emily speculates that it might be a simulation of an asteroid belt. They attempt to call mission control as soon as the alarm goes off, but no one returns their calls. Cole quickly checks the batteries to make sure they're good, but the computer alerts them that the spacecraft is recalibrating its solar energy retention at that precise time. The group came to the conclusion that the solar panels had to be broken, and since this was just a test, they would need to use less energy. A while later, Theo hears Emily attempting to speak with Walter privately. When he catches her red-handed, Emily simply replies that calling mission control is standard procedure before heading to bed. Theo is left thinking back to the day Emily questioned if their relationship was a mistake, to which Theo had not replied at the time. Emily glances at their old photos together in her room, but she just can't bring herself to remove them. 200 days passed. Emily gives the squad another round of vaccinations. Later, after Cole uploads a video, he receives a message claiming that she is poisoning him, but it returns to normal as he blinks. After 18 days, Bug captures a mouse in his lab and proudly displays it to the team, declaring he will keep it as a pet. Because it's unhygienic, Cole wants to get rid of it. When Bug says no, Cole snatches the mouse and stomps on it. They argue, and when Theo tries to defuse the situation, he gets into a fistfight with Cole. After exchanging a few blows, they fall to the ground, where Emily is eventually able to break them up. Cole then notices that his nose is bleeding when he looks in the mirror to check for bruises on his face. As soon as blood starts to run down Cole's face, he can't help but feel nervous as he spreads the blood over his palms in the mirror. But after a while, he looks away and realizes it was only a little drop coming out of his nose and that he had been hallucinating. Concerned about his well-being, Cole requests Emily to see him. When he tries to flirt again, Emily rejects him and tells him that he should take better care of himself because he is dehydrated. When Cole returns to the computer, a message stating that someone hates him and then shows a picture. He starts to get angry when he realizes he doesn't have any relatives, so he smashes the keyboard against the table. After several weeks, Bug leaves the group because he is upset about leaving his son behind. With only 35 days remaining, he won't even go to the bathroom, and Emily even discovers a jar of feces outside his room. Rather, he uses his time to sketch a labyrinth on his room's walls. He notices his kid Sam abruptly one afternoon going into the vent and under his bed. Upon following him right away, Bug is taken aback to see Sam swinging in a spooky children's room. After responding that his father won't be returning for a while, the boy asks how long Bug will be gone. At that point, Sam vanishes and Bug returns to his room. Upon hearing a loud noise outside on day 373, the crew follows protocol and chooses to disregard it. Upon awakening later in the evening to investigate, Cole discovers an odd man in the kitchen after hearing a strange noise. The person emerges next to him and gives him a disturbing look. Cole sends Theo to the kitchen after they crash into each other when he moves aside to warn the others. When Theo looks around, he sees the man trying to get out via the vent, but he passes out, so they take him to the medical bay. Cole says that the intruder entered through an access panel after Emily sedated him, but he finds it hard to comprehend why someone would want to join them. After pointing out that the man is in horrible shape and asking if there's a significant problem outdoors, he abruptly collapses. Emily takes her medication before going to bed because she is also not feeling well. The computer signals that the oxygen level has dropped to a dangerous level, and Theo awakens as he begins to have breathing difficulties. Theo goes outside to alert the others, but Emily won't respond. Theo then has to force open the door and finds Emily unconscious. He starts CPR right away and doesn't stop until Emily is conscious again. On the other hand, Bug notices that his teddy bear has vanished and believes that someone has stolen it. When Theo and Cole rush to the hospital to see how the man is doing, they find that he is gone. Cole discloses shortly afterward that the outside air has mixed with theirs due to the intruder's breach. He notes that their oxygen levels have been falling for several months, and Emily cautions them that a deficiency of oxygen may cause headaches, disorientation, and hallucinations. Cole believes that since the breach must be an essential part of the simulation, they should just close it. But Theo disagrees and wants to go out. An argument then ensues and Cole is knocked unconscious by Bug. When Theo tries to exit, the main hatch is locked from the inside. Theo exits the kitchen through the vent, remembering the man from before. When he comes out, he is shocked to see a desolate, dark place covered in dust. When Bug emerges, they realize it's too chilly, so they put on some clothes and get a sample of the dust before opening the hatch to go back inside. Cole speculates that Mission Control put the bunker within a massive dome to make it appear as though it was on an extraterrestrial planet. When Bug receives the results of his tests, he reveals that the dust contains armalcolite, which is unique to the moon. Ultimately, the crew chooses to suit up and head outdoors to conduct more research. As they stroll around, Cole is certain that the experiment is still going on. Bug can't help but wonder if they're dead, even if he believes the shots they got were psychedelic chemicals that made them more susceptible to paranoia and hallucinations. Bug is shocked to hear laughter when they eventually come upon a swing set, even if no one else can hear it. After a while, the crew discovers an abandoned house and enters. They discover that the interiors are damaged. Theo finds a photo of the invader and his family, and Emily sees a map with every city crossed out for the town of Tranquility. Cole begins to smash things in the meantime, believing he may discover hidden cameras and microphones. The group then proceeds to follow the map till they eventually arrive in Tranquility. They remove their helmets to explore the area because the air here is breathable. They eventually come across Light at a diner, where Zell, the owner, appears. As more people start to appear on the street, he is astonished to see the astronauts and declines to answer their questions and invites them to dinner. When the crew enters, Cole claims he sees a woman who perfectly resembles the model from his magazine and that the other patrons resemble the reporters from the press conference. It takes Zell a bit to understand the astronauts are ignorant when his wife offers them some food and asks them if they have met any other survivors. According to Zell, there is no precise explanation for what transpired. One day, a black object in the sky merely sent a cloud of dust falling to Earth. Cole notes that he can't recall Zell from the press conference and asks whether Zell's hearing aid is really an earpiece that Walter used to give him instructions. Theo questions how the town survived, but Zell tells him they just got lucky and invites him to stay the night. Cole declares he's going to the bar for a drink, saying he doesn't trust him and still believes they're in the simulation. Following a few beers, the crew arrives, and Cole makes eye contact with a girl before they all head out together. While they wait for Cole to return, the gang realizes that he won't, and the three of them head back to the diner. Eventually, the bar has to close. Bug walks to the restroom as Theo and Emily are sleeping, only to discover himself in a hospital. When Bug inquires about Sam's health when the kid is in bed with the bear, he is shocked to discover that Sam has passed away. Sobbing when Bug resurfaces in the restroom, he discovers a menu with an image of the owners, who are not Zell and his wife, on the floor. When Bug comes out of the restroom, he finds Sam in the corridor and feels compelled to alert the others. Bug tries to follow the kid as he leaves, but he becomes trapped in a circle in the same hallway until he runs into Zell. Day 399 begins early the following morning. When Emily and Theo awaken, they ask Zell if he's seen Cole and Bug. Zell responds that they arrived to the diner by themselves and believes that oxygen deprivation causes hallucinations. Theo, disturbed by this, starts looking for microphones, but Zell snaps and says they should go back to their ship. This further alarms Theo because they have not told Zell they came from the ship. When the two decide to head outside, they discover a dust storm. As the street lights go out and the darkness falls, they split up and try to find cover. After breaking into a building, Theo finds himself in the diner's kitchen. From inside, he sees Bug's bear. He tries opening a locked fridge, but he hears someone getting close. When he emerges from hiding after they have left, he is startled to see a man in a cage in another chamber. The man thanks Theo after he releases him and he leaves. After that, Theo tries to exit the kitchen but is unintentionally stabbed in the stomach after running into a chef with a knife. He runs outdoors while coughing to rejoin Emily, who is being pursued by the people. After returning to the bar to hide, Emily tends to Theo's wound. Nevertheless, he thinks it strange that she has a first aid kit as the ship wasn't equipped with one. The bartender returns at that very moment, and although the two attempt to hide, he nonetheless notices their feet and rushes to warn the others. Theo and Emily flee from the building right away, running for their lives and sheltering in the house they had earlier seen. Theo questions Emily about what Walter whispered to her shortly before they went to sleep, and Emily admits that Walter forced her to break up with Theo in order to see if they could still carry out their duties. Emily would have been dismissed from the mission if she didn't do it. Theo gets mad and says they could have pretended, but Emily argues that Walter would have known because he's always keeping an eye on them. Theo, still hurt that she kept it from him, goes to bed. When they return to the ship after waking up a few hours later, Cole and Bug are still nowhere to be found. Theo notices three guys approaching as he seals the hatch, so he quickly warns Emily, pointing out that the locals most likely let them to escape so they could pursue them. Theo grabs a fire extinguisher and heads outside as the enemy looks for them. Theo attacks the bartender outside with the fire extinguisher when he tries to defend himself. Theo then returns to the bunker and encounters the cook. He strikes him with the extinguisher and then ties him up with a knife and strangles him to death. Zell discovers Emily hiding in the meantime, but Theo pulls him from behind before he can attack. Zell breaks free and says Cole and Bug are still alive. He lays down his knife and tells them he will come with them. Theo sets the knife down as well, but then he pushes the table up against Zell and gives him a couple of punches. Zell retaliates fast, kicking and stabbing Theo several times, but Emily rescues him and kills Zell first. At that point, a tape of applause from the crowd plays, and the computer countdown hits 0. The lights also brighten. Walter's voice congratulates them and the crowd cheers for them. The movie ends as Emily and Theo come outside and leave the ship. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoy this movie. See you on our next video.